Welcome back. Sports News now. Newly promoted side Remo Stars FC this evening recorded their first win of the Nigeria Professional Football League season following a hard-fought 1-0 win against Abia Warriors in Shagamu, Ogun State. A late controversial penalty which was converted by Victor Mboma for his third goal of the season was the difference between the two teams. Lagos-based side MFM FC recorded their second win in 3 games with an impressive 4-0 victory against Lobi Stars at the Agege Stadium. In other league games decided this evening, ABS FC beat FC Ifeanyi by a lone goal. Kano Pillars defeated Shooting Stars 2-1. Rivers United also defeated Niger Tornadoes by a lone goal. Eyimba beat Gombe United 2-0, while Plateau United beat Sunshine Stars 2-1. In the English Premier League, Alexis Sanchez this evening scored a 98th-minute penalty as a 10-man Arsenal recovered from conceding in injury time to claim a thrilling win over Burnley at the Emirates Stadium. The Gunners' title chances appear to have been derailed as substitute Francis Coquelin fouled Ashley Barnes in the 93rd minute and Andre Gray converted from the spot to level after Shkodran Mustafi's header had finally broken Burnley's resistance. League leaders move 8 points clear at the top of the league following a 2-0 win over Hull City. Leicester City remain winless away from home this season after being outclassed by Southampton at St Mary's 3-0. Hosts Gabon have crashed out of the Africa Cup of Nations following a goalless draw against Cameroon in the final round of games in Group A. A draw, however, hands the indomitable Lions a spot in the last 8 after finishing second behind group leaders Burkina Faso. Burkina Faso defeated Guinea-Bissau 2-0. An own goal from Rudy Nielsen Silva and Bertrand Traoré handed the Stallions their first victory in the group. The two teams joined Senegal and Ghana, who have already qualified for the quarterfinals. In tennis, Coco Vandeweghe earlier today stunned world number 1 Angelique Kerber on a day of monumental upsets at the Rod Laver Arena. The German's exit followed that of men's top seed and world number 1 Andy Murray, who lost to Misha Zverev on the same court. Defending champion Kerber had no answers to the big-hitting American, who powered past her 6-2, 6-3 to make the quarterfinals in one of the biggest wins of her career. More on that game between Andy Murray and Misha Zverev. Andy Murray's hopes of winning a first Australian Open title have been dashed with a shock defeat by world number 50, Misha Zverev of Germany, in the 4th round. Murray dropped serve 8 times as Zverev won 7-5, 5-7, 6-2, 6-4 on Rod Laver Arena. It is the Britain's earliest defeat in Melbourne since 2009 and the lowest ranked player he has lost to at a Grand Slam since the 2006 Australian Open. Meanwhile, Swiss maestro Roger Federer has continued his remarkable return from injury by seeing off Kei Nishikori in 5 sets to reach his 13th Australian Open quarter-final. Federer beat 5th seed Nishikori 6-7, 6-4, 6-1, 4-6, 6-3 to keep alive his hopes of an 18th Grand Slam and 5th Australian Open title. The 35-year-old is playing his first competitive event since Wimbledon 6 months ago, following a knee injury. He will play Misha Zverev, who beat Andy Murray in the last 8. Away from sports news, a report by British tabloid Daily Mail has exposed how foreign aids to vulnerable countries have been hijacked by so-called consultants who end up pocketing over 60% of the funds allocated for humanitarian projects. The report showed that from a total of £25.4 million spent to install wells, water pumps and irrigation in some of Africa's poorest areas, a whopping £17 million was used to pay private contracting firms. Specifically, the report showed that the Climate Resilient Infrastructure Development Facility hired 550 staff, spent up to £217 per person on workshops, and £20,446 on gender and social inclusion guidelines, which brings average daily rates for staff on the project to over £600. The document admits consulting fees are the major cost driver and may be high, while a DFID analysis found purported economy measures were spurious. For instance, a scheme to help 3 Zimbabwean villagers grow beans and cabbages cost more than £10,000 a week per household. A member of the British Parliament, Nigel Evans, expressed outrage at the report, saying, quote, "I feel so angry the money meant to help some of the poorest in the world is lining the pockets of rich people." He called on the UK's International Development Secretary, Prita Patel, to urgently review this latest example of profligacy and profiteering in the poverty industry. The Israeli government has announced it has approved hundreds of new settlement homes in occupied East Jerusalem. Settlements in East Jerusalem are considered illegal under international law, though Israel disputes this.
The housing project, mainly on land the Palestinians hope would be part of a future state, had been taken off the Jerusalem municipality's agenda in December at a last-minute request of Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu in order to avoid further censure from the administration of Barack Obama. Israel's right wing expects Trump's attitude towards settlement built in the West Bank and East Jerusalem, areas Israel captured in the 1967 war, to be far more supportive than that of his predecessor. Prime Minister Netanyahu said he would hold his first conversation with U.S. President Donald Trump on Sunday to discuss many issues of interest, including the Israeli-Palestinian issue. Jerusalem City Hall approved the building permit for more than 560 units in the urban settlement of Pisgah Ziv, Ramat Shlomo and Ramot, areas annexed to Jerusalem in a move unrecognized internationally. Chairman of the municipality's Planning and Building Committee, Meg Tugman, told Israel Radio the permits were held up until the end of the Obama's administration.
Christie and Lynn.
The Palestinians denounced the move. In its final weeks, the Obama administration angered the Israeli government by withholding a traditional U.S. veto of an anti-settlement resolution at the United Nations Security Council, enabling the measure to pass.
And the main news again, a 6-man board commissioned by the Nigerian Air Force to investigate the accidental bombing in Ran has arrived in Borno State on a fact-finding mission. That's news at 10 tonight. Thank you for watching. I am Amarachi Ubani. Good night.